From now on, my full-time job is finding a guy who's going to take care of me.
You guys are responsible for me and everything else that comes with me.
Hello and welcome back to the MST channel where we talk about all things hypergamy. We're back with In Too Deep, Carrying a Married Man's Baby. Chapter 10 has 5 parts, so it's gonna be a little bit lengthy, so let's see how far we get into it. Alright, Chapter 10. John. It's been 24 hours since I found out Maria, my ex-nanny, is Treasure from Sexy Cam Live. I was dumbfounded. How did I not realize it was her? And how did she pull off that British accent so good? She saw my cock, and I told her things that I haven't told anyone. She knew all along who I was and said nothing. I'm glad she never outed me, although I don't think she would do that, being that I paid her a nice amount. I don't want to stop doing Sexy Cam Live with her, but I'm sure she won't want to do it anymore now that her identity has been realized. The look on her face when I saw that beach painting gave her away. I could tell she was mortified. I got to admit, she's very sexy, and I love our Sexy Cam shows. I hope she doesn't want to cancel, but to be honest, knowing it's her makes me want her in person and not virtually. I'm even more turned on by her now. I liked her as a maid, but I love her as a web model. She pleased me in ways I never knew was possible. Just imagine if I had her in person. I love Jessica, my wife, but Treasure, aka Maria, makes me rise to the occasion every time. I'll just send her a message and see if she still wants to do Sexy Cam Live. If not, I'll just have to move on. I went down to my man cave and opened up my secret laptop to send a message to Treasure. We normally met at 11 p.m. twice weekly. Hey Treasure, I wrote. I hope you had a great birthday. Things doesn't have to change between us. I enjoy our web sessions very much and would like to continue if you would. Message me back when you can. I sent the message and breathed a sigh of relief. I hope she didn't want to cut things off. Chapter 10, Part 2, Maria. Today is my birthday, and I have officially moved into my new apartment. My furniture was delivered and set up this morning. Thank goodness. Gerard and I went to dinner to celebrate, and we just got back to my place to open my gifts. I hope you enjoyed your dinner, baby, said Gerard as he kissed me on my cheek. I sure did, baby, I responded. Thank you. Gerard took me to a 5-star restaurant, and I had an amazing time. He was even over here helping the delivery drivers to set up my furniture all day. I could tell he really missed me. Baby, come open your gifts, said Gerard. Be right there, baby, I replied. I was in the bathroom, taking off my super tight dress and my heels. I also wanted to remove my makeup. I hated wearing makeup in the house, and I especially didn't want to get it on my new furniture. I slipped into a pink silky robe with nothing else underneath it. Not gonna lie, I wanted some dick tonight, and if Gerard's gifts were good, I would ride him all night. Gerard's wife was out of town, so he told me he will be spending a few nights over here. I didn't mind at all. After all, he did pay for the place, so that's no issue for me. After washing off my makeup and brushing my teeth, I put some lip gloss on and some perfume and walked out of the bathroom. Gerard was sitting on the couch at the end of the bed watching TV. "Wow, you look sexy in that silk robe, baby," he said. "Thanks, honey," I answered as I bent over and gave him a kiss. He then handed me a box. It was nicely wrapped with a beautiful red bow. I slowly opened the gift. I gasped for air. "Oh my God, baby," I said, smiling. It was a tennis necklace and bracelet with a pair of heart earrings. They were so shiny and sparkly. I could tell they were real diamonds. I never owned a real tennis necklace and bracelet before. I always wore the fake one. "Thank you, baby," I said, smiling, as I leaned over and kissed Gerard passionately. Gerard then put the necklace around my neck, and I went over to my vanity to look into the mirror. I looked rich, just the way I liked it. I then turned around and walked back over to Gerard. I'm not gonna lie, my pussy got wet from the excitement. I climbed on top of Big Daddy Gerard and started grinding on him. I could feel him getting hard through his pants. "I have something else for you, baby," said Gerard, trying to control himself. He then handed me a shoebox, and it had the writing Casadei on it. I knew the brand, but I've never owned a pair of their shoes before. I was so excited, I pulled the red ribbon. When I opened the box and removed the tissue paper, I didn't see any shoes. I saw something even better. The shoebox was filled with cash. Stacks of cash. I started shaking, and the box fell from my hands. I screamed so loud. "Baby, what the?" I jumped on Gerard's lap and hugged him tight. "Babe," oh my God, that's the only words I could manage to get out. "Babe, how much money is that?" I asked. "It's $100,000, he replied. "100K? I asked, puzzled. "Well, I told you to quit your job and you did it for me, so I wanted you to feel secure. So this is my birthday gift to you. And on top of that, you will still get your monthly allowance." Tears filled my eyes. I was so overwhelmed. I hugged him again and kissed him. I then sat on the floor, gathering back the money into the box while my hands were trembling. Then he handed me a dust bag. When I opened it, it was the pair of Casadei heels that came in the box originally. These pumps were so sexy. I tried them on immediately and gave Gerard a sexy walk. I could tell he wanted to devour me, and I didn't blame him. These heels made my legs look that much sexier. I walked over to him and kissed him again. "Thank you, baby," I said once more. "Wow, This is the best birthday ever. I got diamonds, lots of money, and some Cassidy heels, plus my new place. Life was looking up, and my future looked bright. I felt so happy, and my heart was full. This man deserved all of me tonight. Of course, I'm not losing sight of the plan, but tonight I would show him my gratitude in the nastiest way possible. Baby, let me go make you a drink, okay? I told Gerard. I took up my money, my shoes, and my diamonds and went to my closet. I locked the money and diamonds away in my safe and put my shoes on the shelf. I then went to the kitchen to make Gerard his favorite, rum and Pepsi. Before going back to the room, something told me to check my secret phone. When I checked it, I saw a message on SexyCam Live from John. It read, "Hey Treasure, I hope you had a great birthday. Things doesn't have to change between us. I enjoy our web sessions very much and would like to continue if you would. Message me back when you can." I was shocked to read this message, and even more shocked that John wanted to continue knowing who I was. Was there a catch? I asked myself. I would still like to make the extra $4,000 per week, but him knowing who I am made it kind of awkward. I replied to him and said, "I'll think about it and get back to you." Brad from the Delta Lounge kept blowing me up. I texted him back and told him I'm busy with work and would call him tomorrow. I turned the phone off and put it back in the kitchen drawer and brought Gerard his drink. I lit some scented candles and took out some essential oils. I started giving Gerard a back rub while we listened to soft music. And let's just say I made sure I pleased him all night long. Last night was nothing short of amazing. Gerard and I had sex about 5 times. Like I said, he has a very high X drive. He left around 7 a.m. to go to his office, and I straightened up the place and put my sheets to wash. While waiting on the laundry to get done, I called Sheila. "Hey girl." Sheila greeted me. "Hey friend," I responded. "How's your birthday?" "My birthday was awesome," I replied. "By the way, thank you for that generous Zelle you sent me, Sheila." "Anything for you, bestie," Sheila replied. "Girl, I have so much to tell you." "Spill it, girl," Sheila said, eager to hear the news. Well, John found out that I'm Treasure. "Wait, what?" Sheila said, shocked. "Yeah, he knows I'm Treasure Girl." "But how?" asked Sheila. I was getting ready to leave the Witherspoons' household, and that morning Miss Jessica came to tell me goodbye. Next thing I knew, John and baby Nick also came to the guest house to tell me goodbye. While they were talking to me, John glanced on a painting in my moving box and looked at me shocked. He tried to hide the look, but he caught on quick that I was Treasure. I wanted to change the place up a little, so I purchased a painting of the beach to use as my backdrop whenever I went live with him. I didn't expect them to come by the guest house to wish me goodbye because I had planned to go over to the main house before leaving. So it all happened so fast, and I never thought he would see the painting. Every time I go live, he could see that same painting in my background. I could tell he wanted to shit his pants. Oh my god, are you serious, Maria? So, what happened after that? Sheila asked. Well, basically, I played it off. None of us said anything. Until last night, while Gerard was here, I got a message from John saying he still wants to go live with me on Sexy Cam, and that the situation doesn't have to change. So isn't it gonna be awkward if you continue? Sheila asked. Of course it will, and that's the dilemma I have because I don't know if I should continue to do it. Maybe I'm not going to perform as well for him because I now know he knows that I'm treasure. I don't think the awkwardness is going to make the web shows that good anymore. He doesn't seem to have a problem with it, so I don't see why you would have to stop unless you think that's what's best, said Sheila. That's the thing. I don't know if I should continue. At first, I was fine with continuing, even after quitting the nanny job, but now that he knows that treasure is me, it just feels weird, I replied. It does seem weird, but maybe you should talk to him and see where his head is at and get the awkwardness out of the way, said Sheila. You're right. I think if I talk to him, then we can get over the awkward hump and I can continue making my money weekly doing the web shows, I said. But in other news, girl, guess what? Tell me, said Sheila. Gerard gave me 100K in cash last night for my birthday and diamonds. What? Maria, you have really came up, haven't you? Yes, girl, I was so shocked and excited. I switched the call to FaceTime to show Maria the new shoes and diamonds, and she loved them. I could tell she was genuinely happy for me. Girl, those are sexy, she said, smiling. Thank you, Sheila. I'm so happy for you, Maria. Thank you, friend, I replied. He didn't want me working anymore, so he suggested an allowance and we came to an agreement. Okay, that's good news. So what about the plan? Sheila asked. The plan is still in motion. In fact, it will work out good because his wife is out of town, so we can have a lot of X to cement it. Okay, good. That's my girl, Sheila said, sounding proud. Okay, well, let me give you an apartment tour, girl. I showed Sheila around my new place and we caught up on recent events. If you're still here, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you have not done so. Later that night, when Gerard came over from work, we ate and talked, and he told me stories about why he wanted to be a lawyer and about his humble beginnings. I really respected how he made a name for himself. After dinner, Gerard went to take a shower, and John messaged me on SexyCam Live. Tonight was supposed to be our show, and he wanted to know if we would still be on. Sure, baby, I replied. Truth is, I had no idea how I would pull off doing the webcam show with Gerard here. But I will make an effort for $4,000. Can we do it without you wearing your mask tonight? John asked. Absolutely not, I replied. Is this fool out of his mind? What if Jessica caught him? Come on, treasure. I now know who you are. You don't have to hide anymore, John replied. No, I will not remove the mask, and if you push, then we can cancel these web shows altogether. As a matter of fact, tonight's show is cancelled, I said, very upset. I turned my secret phone off and put it back in the drawer and turned my attention to Gerard for the rest of the night because John was out of his damn mind. Chapter 10, Part 3. John. It's been about a week since I last spoke to Maria on SexyCam Live. The last time I spoke to her, I was asking her to remove her mask for our future shows, and I didn't think she needed it since I now knew who she was. She got upset and hasn't been answering my messages. I feel awful because I really enjoyed our times together. I wanted to even ask her if we could meet up in person for a date, but if she won't take off her mask on live, then she probably wouldn't want to meet in person. So, I don't know what's next. She's so beautiful and so sexy. I don't want to lose access to her. I hope she will calm down enough to message me back. I miss her performing for me. Sure, I can find another web girl, but Treasure and I built a bond. I want her. Maybe if I offered her more money, she would come. I wonder if I sent her $5,000 to her PayPal, if she would respond. Gosh, I miss her so much. I logged into my PayPal on my secret computer in my man cave and sent her $5,000 via PayPal with a note telling her I'm sorry and I don't want to stop cam lives and that she can wear her mask. If she agrees, then I would get her comfortable enough to want to meet me for a date. Truth is, I want to experience Treasure in person, especially now that I know who she is. I was willing to risk it all for her. Alright, if you guys are still here, don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up, okay? Comment down below, let me know if you're enjoying the story so far. Interact, guys, so the video can go further and others can get a hold of this juicy story. Chapter 10, Part 4. Maria. It's been some weeks now after putting my grand plan into motion. It was time to carry out phase 1. I will do it in a few hours when Gerard comes over for dinner. I am planning a nice candlelit dinner for the two of us. I ordered steak and mashed potatoes with vegetables and his favorite butterscotch cake for dessert. It will be delivered via DoorDash. After taking a shower and grabbing 3 of the 7 items Melissa brought over to me, I carefully set them on the bathroom counter. I heard my secret phone constantly going off. I had opened up my profile to get some new clients on live since I dropped John after he pressed me to take my mask off. He sent me $5,000 and an apology, and he has been blowing up my DM on Cam Live ever since. I kept ignoring him. I didn't want anything to do with him ever again. Plus, it's too risky. I am dating Gerard, the head of the firm that John works for. And now that John knows that I'm Treasure, he may want to get too cozy, and I'm not going to risk losing Gerard, at least not yet. So my Cam Live shows with John are now a thing of the past. As a matter of fact, let me block John on Cam Live because he won't stop blowing me up. I thought about sending back the 5 grand that he sent me apologizing, but no way. I'll consider it a nuisance gift. After all, he's been annoying me all week with over 100 messages trying to get me to talk. Don't get me wrong, John had money, but Gerard had money. I blocked John and began to get ready for tonight. I needed to focus. My doorbell started to go off. When I checked the camera, it was DoorDash. I went to grab the food and started setting up the table. Gerard told me that he is on his way, so the timing was good. I put out my fancy china, gifted to me by Sheila as a housewarming gift. I set everything out as if I slaved over this meal. I then put on a nice satin emerald calf-length dress with some sexy red pumps. I was sure to add my body glow and some stud earrings. I sprayed on my Valentino Roma perfume and let down my sleek, straight hair. Of course, I put on my bright red lip. My bell started ringing again, and this time it was Gerard. As I opened the door, his eyes popped out of his head. "Maria, you look... wow." "Great, that was the reaction I was going for," I joked. He leaned in for a kiss, and I held his hand and led him to the dining area. "Wow, this is nice, Maria," said Gerard. "It's all for you, baby," I responded. Gerard pulled out my chair for me, smiling hard as F. Of course, he was excited. He had his favorites at the table, a sexy woman and filet mignon. As we ate, Gerard couldn't take his eyes off me. I could see the lust in his eyes. He must have been really hungry because he was eating away. After dessert, I told Gerard that I have something I want to tell him. We then went to the bedroom. He had already loosened his tie, taken his shoes off, and was ready to fuck. I walked over to the bathroom and grabbed 3 out of the 7 items and walked back into the room. "Gerard, baby," I said in a soft voice. Gerard then took his eyes off of the TV to set his eyes on me. I then handed him 3 pregnancy tests. "I'm pregnant, baby," I said. That was the end of chapter 10. Chapter 11 will be posted as soon as we hit 500 subscribers. So I'm asking you all to please kindly share the story because it's about to get real juicy. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.